increasingly right now, there's a lot of thought given to the effect of AI. Um, and the overall proposition that I've really thought a lot about is this idea that as societies go digital, authoritarian governments are more and more focused on using uh, powerful tools to wield control over information and by extension over citizens. And they do that through several different means. One is through surveillance, and that can be everything from using biometric facial recognition technology to social media monitoring. They do it through censorship. China's Great Firewall is a good example. They do it through data centralization, taking all different types of information from individuals and compiling that as a way to then have a very fine-grained understanding about citizen preferences, both good and bad. And they also do it through propaganda and information manipulation that our last speaker touched upon a fair bit. And what's interesting, I think, is that there's not one model in which these tactics have been used. So what has worked in places like China looks very different if you look at Russia or Saudi Arabia or Nigeria or Turkey. And so you see multiple tactics and forms take place despite kind of a commonality when it comes to underlying technology. And a lot of what this is premised on in terms of how these technologies are used is whether leaders are predisposed to use coercion to quash political dissent. What is the capacity of the state? What types of resources are available? What is the sophistication of the personnel used to deploy these systems? So there are a lot of different questions, and there isn't a one size fits all when it comes to understanding and thinking about the effect of these technologies when it comes to governance. Now, what is, I think, interesting is that increasingly these tactics are not just consigned to authoritarian or illiberal states. It's also something that we increasingly see democracies using, particularly when it comes to AI tools. And the argument I want to put forward is essentially that AI tools specifically can supercharge anti-democratic activities as well as problematic security policies by a state and lead to a cascade of risks and harms. And so one of the examples I want to delve into for a moment is DOGE's use of AI tools. So DOGE was the Department of Government Efficiency established by Donald Trump, run by Elon Musk. It's ebbed a little bit currently, but it made a big splash. It closed down several agencies, including an agency I used to work for earlier in my career, the U.S. Agency for International Development, and really had a pretty profound effect in terms of the sort of immediate dismantling of a set of institutions in the U.S. government